Welcome to another live stream. Today we are diving into history, stock market history. I was thinking that today I can take you a little bit back, about a century back, when we had our last health crisis. Right? The Spanish flu was one of the biggest events that health-wise at least impacted us. And I was thinking, let's look into it together to see if we can learn something from that maybe we can use for our benefit to the current health crisis, right? There's for sure at least one thing to learn from that. And maybe but this channel is all about to make us all the better investor. And I think what else you can do than learn from the past, right? You learn also from your ex-wives or girlfriends, and so even when it's sometimes not the best memory, sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad, from experience, from all your adventures that you do, I think you can learn a lot. So I think, it's great to look into stock market history. As always, let me know from where you are watching from. Let me know your city, where you are watching from. Usually fuck usually, yeah, I got it. So usually I am seeing a lot of international people here, so I'm very, very much exciting to see you all live. And let me know what is your stock of the century. There's a lot of stocks and out there that came and went, and companies that came and went. So let me know what is your most favorite company in the last couple of years, or maybe the century. Okay, my is, I don't know if I like Tesla more, right, because they are just so innovating that I love about Tesla, or maybe it's even Apple, because my very first stock was Apple stock. So it would be something in between those two. So, and don't forget, an early thumb up for this video is absolutely insanely important for my channel and for our community, and therefore highly appreciated. So let's dive directly into it. So this is a photo of 1918, so you see how the people then thought they would be safe by having this kind of facial, or is it nozzle? I don't know, and I don't know how they were protected, but very funny to see those old photos and see how the people created that, right? Obviously, the overall crisis was very severe, guys. Here you can see how many people were affected, and it started actually quite you might think how this kind of crisis back 100 years could evolve in this big fashion, right? Because if you think about it, it's they didn't have really big air travel, right? The people were not traveling right now, like now. So how it spread, and this was during the World War, when people went with this sickness around the world in different countries and catched it and brought it back to US and so on. And this was obviously so so severe because the medical infrastructure was just totally different than today. However, I believe that this is something that we can learn from, and therefore we dive into what we can learn from the stock market by then. Okay, this is also something that is important. There was apparently three or four waves. There was a small one, then there was a big one, and then there was a second or a third one that was half that severe like the main wave of the overall thing. So when people are starting to speak about second wave or even more waves, then that it happened usually with these health crises, that they come back because people go out. Even there, by then there was social distancing. There was cities that made the social distancing. There was cities that didn't make the social distancing. So it was seen that the statistics showed that if you do a social distancing, what we did also here worldwide really helped, right? So it's very important to see the data that's coming out now out of the new social distancing and time. So I'm very much exciting what will the next couple of weeks give us in terms of data. But let's dive further. What happened with the stock market during this big health crisis that we had before? So here you see at its peak in 1918, you see that it's basically the stock market lost a bit. We will dive into a more detailed graph in a second, but as you can see, it was not that much severe that we saw now, right? And it was quite, let's say, short, and it was quite connected also to the World War here, and obviously two big events just worked together and brought then the stock market down for a couple of months. But then the stock market saw huge new highs, and you see that by basically looking now into the second graphic. Okay, here that's quite interesting. So here you see of the overall gray area, you see that we were already in a kind of recession. Okay, so from about August 1918 until I would say March of 1919, we were in a recession. Okay, and the red graph is the people who died. There you see again the three waves, let's say, and then you see that the distance between those waves, this is also important, is I would say from peak to peak about 4 months. Okay, and also from the first wave until the second big wave, you see also it was about by 4 months. So let's see what happened now in the current crisis after 4 months. And the blue, and this is the important part that we look into, you see that it went into the recession quite positively, and then with the big wave that hit by the Spanish flu, the overall index lost about 11%. So you see it wasn't that big of a difference, guys. It was not so big of a impact. And then even when we had the second wave, it was just minimal impact on the stock market, and then it went up to very high levels. Okay, so imagine we are around the Dow Jones was at 80 on the lowest point during this period just before the third wave, and then we climbed over 100 when the third wave broke down. So you see, it was just so unbelievable how many people lost their lives, unfortunately, in this Spanish flu. But overall, it's amazing how, you know, we can apparently fight this currently. And you know, unfortunately, you know, we are not advanced yet enough as a civilization to totally avoid this. And there's even here, you can see in the picture from 1957 there and 1968, there was different flus. There was the swine flu in 2009. And there are other, the expert says there are so many health risks out there that something like this can come anytime, you know, and even more severe. But the current situation is already quite significantly, because it's a very much containing thing. Okay. So as we can see, so what are the takeaways from this small time travel? First of all, smash that like button. Okay, this helps, and if the thumb is blue, then you did the right thing. Second, we have seen that, you know, there was a couple of waves. Okay, so we might, if there's any correlation to the current health crisis, there could be some additional waves, and the difference between those waves is about 4 months. Okay, this is another takeaway. Then think about that the stock market didn't react that bad. Okay, I was thinking that before this vlog, before this live stream, I didn't look into that, but I was expecting there was also a huge decline. But as you could see in the graphic before that, the decline and the major wave was just 11%. That's nothing compared to the 30 or 35 that we lost in the main indexes. So that's quite interesting, guys. Okay. And also make sure, guys, that to wear your mask. And if your mask is looking like that, then I would recommend to not use this mask. Okay, use a very professional N95 or the other surgical mask that are available on the market. That's quite funny, you know, how things develop over time. You know, I really enjoy looking at those old photos 100 years ago, guys. You know how much a company that could evolve. Can you imagine? There's just a handful, or even not so much, companies that could survive 100 years of operation. This requires of reinventing yourself every now and then, you know. So that's quite super interesting. I would like to go now into the comments, and also I would like to, before the market closes, just to have a look what happened today on the market, obviously, as always. So let me have a look into the live chat. That's quite super. So we have UK here. We have UK, New Hampshire, USA. Then Manaus. Where is Manaus? Which country is Manaus? This would be interesting. Then we have our member Hugo from Lisboa. We have DRK from Atlanta, our regulars here. F Chow is also one of our regular. Let me have a look. Yeah, definitely. You know, there's some discussions in the live chat that the health oh no, I deleted the comment. Okay, I unfortunately deleted the comment, and I don't know how to undo that. Let me have a look. Okay, so Chow said here the medical professions was hardest hit. Yeah, this is absolutely true. The very much front line of our defense are the health workers. So you know, as much as we can do for them, I have some in my family. You know, I can think those are super hard professions, guys. Right now. Right now, I think it's the most of the hardest jobs ever, you know, if you are on the front line with so many thick people on such a intensive way. Let me have a look. So Cleveland, Ohio, we have Manaus is in Brazil. Thank you very much for that information. Then we have, I think there was someone from Hong Kong as well. Great. Let's have a look into the market, guys. I, as always, have my watch list here, and let's see what the markets are doing. They had a definitely quite interesting start today. I think it's the best to show that on the Uber stock. So it started positive today, and then it went negative quite fast and severe. From here, it was 4% that we went negative, and then from here we went back up and are little below yesterday's numbers, okay? But it seems like the trend is maybe a little bit downwards towards the close. I think that there might be some profit taking because there is a long weekend, right? I think DRK said it the last day, couple of days, that there is Memorial Day, right, on Monday. So tomorrow I think should be the last trading day, and then Saturday, Sunday, and Monday should be off in the US. So don't forget that. Then we have Beyond Meat minus 2%, but you know, this really is just unbelievable, guys, right? I mean, the stock went up just in this month over 40% since the earnings. This is quite okay to lose 2%. Carnival were quite positive today with 3%. Tesla positive on the day, 1.6%. Deutsche Lufthansa was 2.7% plus. Booking was positive. Shopify 3.4%. Those are actually the three stocks that I recommended in my top 3 comeback stocks in the travel industry. So if you're interested, Carnival, Lufthansa, and Booking.com. Then we have Shopify Plus. Win is quite negative. Then we have, let me have a look. I just want to see if there's any big news on Win, why they are 4% negative today. I definitely think that the overall challenges are there, right? Because so many people, I was a couple of times in Vegas and it's just crowded there, guys, okay? Then we have Amazon minus 1.7%. We have the S&P 500 minus 0.6% and the Dow Jones 0.33% in the negative. So both indexes are negative, and overall there's some plus and minus. Not a big one direction. Undecided, right? People, I don't know, or investors might not know the way. There is definitely, in my personal opinion, 2 big options, okay? So either we having a vaccine, and this would be a huge push for the markets, guys, and then we have bad news would be definitely a second wave, right? But then we had also the Fed that has enough tools, as they said, to bring and hold this high levels up. So, you know, I don't know. I'm still I'm still waiting on a couple of good opportunities. I don't want to buy overvalued stocks, in my personal opinion. So I'm cool. I have some picks, like for example, as you know, I bought just yesterday 888 shares of Virgin to start my position. That's about $13,000, and this will be the start of the position. And otherwise, I don't see any good deals out there, but you know, I'm there every day, and if you want to be here, make sure to subscribe and ring the bell for all notification. Apparently there is a limit of notifications, so if I'm really hitting the content machine here and making 3-4 piece of content, so sometimes you don't get the notification, just check out from time to time the channel, and then you will see all this content that you will be for sure valuing if you want to become a better investor. So thank you very much for tuning in, and I see you in just a couple of hours.